Do you ever feel like you're just living on autopilot? Like your days are a blur of routines and to-do lists, one bleeding into the next, until the whole year has passed and you're not quite sure where it went. We're so often told that happiness is a destination we'll get to someday. We tell ourselves we'll finally be happy after the next deadline, the next promotion, or when the kids are older. But what if that's not true? What if the secret to joy isn't out there in some distant future, but right here, hidden in the moments we usually ignore? What if joy isn't something you find, but something you remember how to see? This is the story of how a simple shift in focus can unlock a world of beauty that's been right in front of you all along. Most of us move through life on autopilot, and it's not really our fault. Our brains are efficiency machines, designed to turn common actions into habits so we can save our mental energy. Brushing your teeth, driving to work, making coffee. These things become so automatic we do them while our minds are somewhere else entirely. We're in the shower, but we're thinking about a meeting. We're walking the dog, but we're replaying a tough conversation. Our bodies are in one place, while our minds are lost in the past or the future. I remember a time when this was my constant reality. My days were just an endless series of check. Wake up, check. Work, check. Chores, check. Sleep, check. I was productive, sure, but I was also profoundly disconnected, like a spectator in my own life. There was this low-grade hum of anxiety under the surface, a feeling that I was missing something huge. I was always waiting for the big moments, the vacation, the party, the grand achievement to finally deliver the happiness I wanted. But those moments were always fleeting. The joy would spike and then, just as quickly, fade away, leaving me right back where I started. The deep ache came from realizing that my life was what was happening while I was busy making other plans. The ordinary, everyday moments that make up almost all of our existence were just slipping through my fingers, completely unnoticed. I was living in a waiting room, putting off happiness for a perfect future that never seemed to show up. The problem wasn't my life. The problem was I wasn't really living it. I was so caught up in the mental chatter of what if that I completely missed the simple, quiet reality of what is. My turning point wasn't some dramatic, lightning strike moment on a mountaintop. It happened on a totally ordinary Tuesday while I was washing dishes, a chore I usually rush through on autopilot. But for some reason, on this day, I just paused. I had my hands in the warm, soapy water, and instead of just trying to get the job done, I really noticed. I noticed the surprising heat of the water on my skin. I noticed how the bubbles caught the light, creating these tiny, shimmering rainbows that vanished in a second. I felt the smooth, cool plate in my hands and heard the satisfying squeak it made as it came clean. For just a few seconds, the non-stop chatter in my head went quiet. There was no past to regret and no future to worry about. There was only the warmth, the light, and that single, present moment. And in that quiet, this profound sense of peace washed over me. It was followed by something I could only describe as joy. It wasn't loud or flashy. It was a gentle, calm, deeply fulfilling feeling. This tiny, insignificant moment of washing a dish had given me a more genuine sense of well-being than any big achievement I'd been chasing. That was the secret. Joy wasn't a prize to be won at the end of a long race. It was a practice of paying attention. The secret I stumbled upon is this. The key to finding joy is cultivating wholehearted, appreciative attention. It's not mystical. It's a trainable skill, like learning an instrument. It just means choosing to bring your full awareness to your senses, your mind, your heart too. The moments you real-radine. It's about shifting your focus from what you're doing to how you're being while you're doing it. And it starts with 3 simple shifts. The first and most important shift is moving from a state of doing to a state of being. Our world is obsessed with doing. We're valued for our productivity, our efficiency, how much we can cross off our list. This mindset is great for getting things done, but it's a thief of joy. When you're always doing, the present moment is just a stepping stone to the next task. Shifting to a state of being means gently putting down your tools for a minute. It's about moving out of your thinking mind and into your sensing body. Let's take your morning cup of coffee or tea, a ritual most of us do on complete autopilot. Tomorrow, try this. Instead of chugging it while scrolling through your phone, approach it with this new awareness. First, just hold the mug. Feel its weight. Notice the warmth seeping into your palms. Look at the steam dancing in the air. What color is your drink? Now, bring the mug to your face and take a deep breath. Really experience the aroma. Is it nutty, earthy, floral? Now, take a sip. But don't just swallow. Let the liquid rest in your mouth. Notice the temperature on your tongue, the texture. Is it smooth, creamy, thin? Finally, notice the taste as it unfolds. In these few moments, you've shifted from just doing the task of drinking coffee to truly being with the experience. This sensory awakening naturally sparks a quiet joy, because for that minute, you are genuinely in your life. You can apply this to almost anything. In the shower, instead of letting your mind race, feel the warm water on your skin. When you're eating, take the first bite mindfully. This isn't about adding more to your day. It's about inhabiting the tasks you're already doing. This practice is proven to help decrease stress, reduce muscle tension, and lead to a deeper connection with yourself. The second shift is about taming your wandering mind. It's the move from being constantly future-focused to becoming mindfully present-engaged. Our brains are natural time travelers, but they love to camp out in the future, planning, worrying, and strategizing. This creates a low-level, persistent anxiety, driven by the endless loop of what if. What if I mess up this presentation? What if I run out of time? What if they don't like me? This kind of thinking yanks us out of the only moment we ever really have. Right now, the antidote is to gently but firmly anchor yourself in the what is. What is right now? Right now, my feet are on the floor. Right now, I can hear the low hum of my computer. Right now, I am breathing. Anchoring yourself in the simple reality of the present moment dissolves anxiety because it grounds you in what's actually happening, not the catastrophe that might happen. A perfect laboratory for this is walking. Usually, when we walk, our mind is already at the destination. We're not walking, we're arriving. To become present engaged, change your goal. Your goal lies in T to get to the end of the block. It's to experience one step. Feel your foot roll from heel to toe. Notice the subtle shift of balance in your body. What sounds are around you? Not just the obvious ones, but the chirp of a bird or the rustle of leaves. Interestingly, research shows that simply introducing a little variety into our routines can wake up our brains. Studies on novelty show that new experiences can activate the brain's dopamine system, which enhances our mood and motivation. So, while you're practicing being present, maybe walk down a different street. This novelty helps build flexible thinking and can trigger the release of those feel-good neurochemicals, improving your mood. You're not just grounding yourself in the present, you're gently stimulating your mind in a positive way. The science backs this up. People who regularly experience moments of presence and happiness tend to have lower blood pressure, reduced levels of the stress hormone, cortisol, and improved cardiovascular health. The final shift is subtle but powerful. It's moving from passively searching for happiness to actively seeing the good that is already here. This is the practice of gratitude. Many of us think of happiness as something to find or acquire. This puts us in a state of constant lack, as if we're incomplete until we find that missing piece. The shift to seeing flips us on its head. It assumes that moments of goodness and beauty are already woven into our daily lives, but they often go unnoticed. Our job isn't to create them out of thin air, but to develop the eyes to see them. Recent scientific research strongly supports this. Studies on gratitude have found that even small, simple practices can measurably improve emotional well-being, decrease stress, and improve sleep. These aren't huge acts. They are as simple as admiring a flower, listening to laughter, or doing a small, kind thing for someone else. This practice is about training your attention to notice the positive, because what we focus on becomes our reality. Our brains are like Velcro for negative experiences and Teflon for positive ones. Actively seeing the good helps the positive experiences stick. So, how do you practice this? It can be as simple as starting a gratitude list. At the end of each day, write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be huge. Maybe it's the generosity of a friend. Maybe it's watching the sunset. Or maybe it's just the fact that your body carried you through another day. Studies have shown that people who do this experience greater energy, sleep better, and can even have fewer physical aches and pains. But this shift goes even deeper. A critical part of seeing joy is learning to see and celebrate it in others. Research highlights this as an empathic dimension of joy. Finding gladness in someone else's happiness is a powerful antidote to envy. When a coworker gets a promotion, can you choose to feel joy for their success? When you see friends laughing together, can you let their joy warm you rather than make you feel lonely? This expands your capacity for joy exponentially. Suddenly, the world is filled with opportunities to feel good. So, after that ordinary Tuesday at the kitchen sink, I started to practice. I didn't try to change my whole life. I started small. And at first, it felt a little forced. My mind still wandered, and I'd find myself right back on autopilot. But I gently guided my attention back, again and again. I started with my morning tea, practicing the shift from doing to being. I turned my daily dog walk into a practice of being present engaged, noticing how the light filtered through the tree leaves, a detail I'd never consciously seen in years of walking the same path. And at night, I'd make a mental list of 3 small things I was grateful for, practicing the shift from searching to seeing. Slowly, almost without me noticing, something changed. The constant hum of anxiety started to fade, replaced by a quiet calm. The world around me seemed to come into sharper focus, more vibrant. My walk became a source of peace, not a chore. My morning tea became a grounding ritual. The moments weren't different, but my experience of them was transformed. I started noticing joy in places I never would have looked. The feeling of a warm sweater straight from the dryer, the perfect 5 minutes of a song on the radio, the genuine excitement in a friend's voice when she shared good news. And I realized the solution wasn't to get a new life. It was to change my relationship with the life I already had. The solution was this gentle, consistent practice of wholehearted, appreciative attention. I didn't have to wait for the big, flashy moments to feel alive. Life was happening right now. The beauty wasn't in some far-off destination. It was in the spaces between. The secret to finding joy in everyday moments is that there is no secret. It's a practice. It is the choice, made over and over, to show up for your own life. It begins with the 3 simple shifts we've talked about. First, shifting from mindless doing to mindful being, using your senses to anchor you in the present. Second, shifting from a future-focused mind, lost in anxiety, to a present-engaged mind, grounded in the peace of what is. And third, shifting from endlessly searching for happiness to actively seeing and appreciating the small moments of goodness that are already here. You don't need to change your life. You just need to change your focus for a few moments each day. You don't need to add anything to your to-do list. This is a practice of inhabiting what is already there. Joy is not a destination you finally arrive at. It is a way of walking. It is a practice of perception that reveals you have been home all along. Start small. Start right now. Pause for a moment. What is one small thing you can notice? The feeling of the air in your lungs, the light in the room, the sound of your own quiet heartbeat. I'd love to hear about it. Share in the comments what small moment of joy you noticed today. By sharing, we not only reinforce our own practice, but remind each other of the beauty that surrounds us all.